Okay, so g'day and welcome back to Mondays Coins and Banknotes, and today we are talking about this beaten up old banknote. So this is a 1949 Australian £1 banknote, and they come in prefixes which correspond to K97 to 99, I10 to 99, W 9 to 79, but there was no 72, 75. So it gives a print run of, for the K's 2 million, for the I's 89 million, and for the W 66 million. Now the catalogs say there is 179 million, but it doesn't match up with the actual prefixes. But basically, including all signatures from 1938 to 1953, there is 683,956,000. So that's quite a high print run. If only the next £1 having 1 billion. So obviously, that is a high print run banknote. And in okay, so I forgot to press record. So let's have a quick close-up of the actual banknote itself. So we have the coat of arms. In the background you can see that there is micro-printing of some type. I believe it's represents the denomination £1, Commonwealth of Australia. And as you can see, it has a shadow in the background. That's what those lines are. Then we have the typical features of the time. So all these squiggly patterns for security, so to make it hard to actually reproduce. Then we have the portrait of King George VI in his military uniform. Then we have the one with the circles, the first signature. And we have the next signature, Mr. Coombs. And in the background is a watermark, £1. And there's another watermark of Captain Cook here. So in the background, don't have that much of a security feature. But considering computers were not around then, it would have been harder to actually counterfeit because technology was not as advanced as it is today. On the back of the note, we've got allegorical feature of pastoral. So we've got pastoral down below. And it's sheep at probably a farm. We have a tree in the background. Doesn't look like a eucalypt, probably some type of imported European tree. We have two men in typical clothing of the time, which is way different than we have now. And then we have a dog. Might be an Australian sheepdog, or looks more like a kelpie to me. Okay, then we have the one. We're just hatching. Up top, another one. Okay, another one. So basically, this just has a lot of engraving. So basically, the pattern was pretty much the same as a lot of other banknotes of the time period, with the central portrait being more artistic than representation of anything that was supposed to be about. This does take a feature of the Australian economy at the time. Okay, so here we have information on Numista. So we've got just a basic representation of a banknote. So we've got the dimensions 155 to 81 millimeters in diameter, so rectangular. And we have, so this is a watermark, number printed, but it doesn't break down how many were printed. And then we've got 4 signatures. So the one we have is the Coombs Watts, issued 1949. That should be 1952. I don't know where they get the references from. And the last issue was 1953. Okay, so then we have, it's interesting to look at the wage at the time. So in this time period, they separated wages into male and female. So the male wage was about 158 to 169 shillings and 8 pence. So that's about £8, 9 shillings and 8 pence. So I'm looking at this line here. And this one is about 7.5. Okay, £7, 18 shillings, 10 pence. Then we go down to the females, so the average female wage, and it's about 2/3 of the Australian wage, male wage. So we've got 101 shillings, and as you can see, different states pay different rates, and 109 shillings, so that's about £5, 9 shillings. So females got paid about £3 less than males, but they probably would have had a lot different type of jobs, with a lot of men doing a lot more riskier stuff. But we're not worried to talk about that. Okay, so £8 9 shillings, so that's the male wage, is equivalent to about 582,000. And house prices were not they're only about 2 to 3 times the actual wage back then, so you can look that up yourself. And not 10 to 12 of what they are these days. Okay, so if we want to see how much a £1 banknote should be able to buy, we put £1 in and we calculate it. So it's equivalent to roughly about $70. So really, we're going to get that back for our banknote. So here we have sold items for the banknote. So we're looking at $70. That's the inflation rate. So basically, yeah, 27.34. So really, you keep these in long term. So someone had to go on me about inflation. So basically, inflation is good if you want to collect banknotes, because over time the worst ones reduce in value compared to your wage and your income. 27, yeah, so you can pick up one that's like the one I've got for about $20 to $30. But if we go down, this one sold for $10. It was a pretty damaged banknote. Okay, it's pretty damaged, has rips and tears. So really, that one sold for, yeah, that's the one I sold for $10. Got another one, so this is pretty similar one to one I got in my condition. It's I-54. How much did that sell for? 27. Another one, 27. This one is for sale, so that one's actually pretty good condition. Yes, probably very fine. Okay, and then we've got a lot of other banknotes. So this one's 35. Probably a little bit overpriced. That one has the King George V picture, so that's why it's a bit high. There's actually a lot more demand those ones. Out of the predecessor £1 banknotes, these ones seem to be a lot more common than the Elizabeth II. So they're the next ones that actually took over. So yeah, you can really get one of these banknotes for $30 or less in probably pretty good condition. But if you wanted to get an a circulated one, uncirculated, let's have a look at that one. Yeah, that one actually looks pretty good, probably EF condition to almost uncirculated. So basically, that one should have gone for quite a lot more. Oh well, whatever. And so on and on and on. As you can see, you can get rough estimates of how much these banknotes should actually cost. And this one probably only sold because it's an O banknote. And it's also a different signature. So anyway. Okay, so some people like to buy these for important events. So the only thing I know is the Nationality and Citizenship Act was passed. Rather than being identified as British, the Act established Australian citizens for people to meet the eligibility requirements. Okay, federal elections, yeah, they're not. Okay, and the Snowy Mountains election regime began, so that's quite important. Coal miner strike. Okay, Indigenous Australians were given a right to vote in federal elections if they were allowed to vote in these 4 states. So I'm not surprised Queensland's missing. Okay, and then you got some other information, which is probably not really sports. Oh, God, sports. Anyway, so basically, Red Simons was born. Anyway, so basically that's what you can get for a £1. So inflation is about $70, but you can really pick them up for $30 or less in this condition. So basically, unless it's a really low signature run, stuff like this is really not worth keeping in the long term. In the future, this will probably still keep on going down in value compared to your wage. Anyway, hope this helps you with your banknote and coin collecting. And have a nice sleep. So today is the 22nd of August 2025.